welcome to the channel. How are you doing? How is our families at your side doing? How is your weekends going? And how is the weather at your side? It's your brother Prince Ayuku sending my warmest greetings to all of you wherever you are. And before I start this conversation, I want to make a very special prayer to all of us. I pray that every knowledge that we seek, the Almighty God and the ancestors will grant us with this knowledge. Everything that we want in life, the Almighty God and the ancestors will grant us what we want. And I also pray that the Almighty God and the ancestors will grant us good health. Abundance of wisdom, abundance of wealth, and abundance of patience. This is what can make a person live in life without so many problems, because it is patience that is one of the most important thing that uplifts the life of a person. Patience is something that when you have, it can take you for the rest of your life for you to live without any difficulty or any struggle in life that overcomes you. It is patience that can make a person see the end of everything without a rush. So I'm praying that the Almighty God and the ancestors will grant us patience to live in life with open-minded and focus. So tonight's topic is going to be about African teachings. African teachings. That is how I titled the topic, African teachings. When I say African teachings, I'm talking about what we have to know as Africans, what we have to know, or the way we have to live as Africans. So African teachings consist of a lot of things. It involves a lot of teachings. We have the African culture, we have the African tradition, we have everything that involves Africa. It's what we call African teachings. African teachings. And when we are talking about African teachings, it doesn't have so much comedy or so much jokes on it. When an African is teaching you something, the person is very, very serious, open-minded, and focused. When an African is doing something with you, which he knows that he's doing it to uplift you, he doesn't do it with jokes. There is no jokes in that particular part. Here in Africa, we have time for jokes and we have time for seriousness. Anything that we do that can bring about, building up the future, there is no something that we call jokes in it. There is time for comedies, there is time for jokes, and there is time for, seriousness. But before I continue with this conversation, I want to come to the comment section to greet those who are in the house currently and those who are yet to come. So I have with me here today in the comment section Ojiwini Ogeri Lakwai Lakadu. Greetings to you. My sister is here, the African Unite Force. Greetings to you, my sister. Sinovia, really, greetings to you from Tamale. And you said greetings to you, Prince Ayoko from Atlanta. And my sister said, the African Unite Force said, please kindly smash the, okay, yeah. So just smash the, she said, please kindly smash the like button on your way in. Thanks. So, let's get to this topic. When we say African teaching, when we say African teachings, what is the real meaning of African teachings? Number one, the number one teaching that we have in Africa, that we were taught growing up as children, what we were taught by our parents, and what we are still being taught by elders, is that each and every time, make sure that individualism is out. Don't live an individual life. Live your life as a member to the community and not an individual in the community. That is number one teaching that we have here in Africa. Not only the Dagbon tradition, not only the Northern Ghana tradition, not only the Ghanaian tradition, but this is about African traditions or African culture. Live in the community as a member of the community and not an individual in the community. That is number one. By living a community life, selfishness is out. Never do anything, that can, make you get what you want by, giving out false informations for selfish gains as a community member or as someone who lives in the community. Anything that you do, take that out of your mind. Focus on what you can do to uplift the community and to build the community up. That is what we call community here. Secondly, we were being taught by our parents and the elders, and we are still being, we are still under the teachings of these elders. Umar Sanda, greetings to you from Tamale and all our brothers in Germany. And I'll also extend my warmest greetings to, I'll also extend your warmest greetings to the entire people in Northern Ghana. So, one thing that these elders also taught us was that whatever you are doing to uplift the community, make sure that you do it with all that you can. Do it with all your energy. Do it with all your knowledge. Do it with all your finances. Make sure that what you are doing is on point. And make sure that what you are doing, you are not doing it because of, personal gains. And we were always being taught by the elders that sometimes when they were telling us something about community, they use their, sometimes they use body language. They will use their two hands like this, and then they will tell you that, what is this? They will ask you that, what is this? And then you say, this is the right hand. and they will tell you that what is this, and then you say this is the left hand, and they say when both hands is very dirty, can you use one hand to wash? Can you use only your right hand to be able to, clean it up or wash it up till it gets clean? And you say no. And they will ask you, if you want to wash your hands to be clean, how do you do? And you say you have to wash it with both hands. And then they will tell you that yes, that is how community life is. The right washes the left, and the left washes the right. The right washes the left, and the left washes the right. It is about togetherness. It is about togetherness. But in the typical Dagomba tradition, we are having so many people in this kingdom. The Dagomba tribe is the second biggest tribe in Ghana. That is, when we talk about population. And in this particular kingdom that we're in, we have so many lineages in this kingdom. We have people who are the first lineage that is being respected so much here in Dagbon is royal families. The royal families are the first people that is highly respected in the community, because they take care of the land and they take care of the communities. The other lineages that we have is the Kambonsi, that is the warriors that I always show you in the videos that I said we inherited from the Ashantis, which I'm going to make a video about it some time to come. That is another lineage. And then we also have some lineages that doesn't have any position in Dagbon. We have some lineages, they don't have any position. When I say any position, like they are Dagombes, we are all Dagombes. It's not Dagombes, it's Dagbamba. We are all Dagbamba. But then everything that we do as Dagbamba, you have to maintain the respect of your lineage, that is your family. So there are also some people here in Dagbon, for the fact that even when they do anything to tarnish the name of their families, they don't care. After all, they see their family not to be anything. Sorry to say, but that is it. You understand? So in a typical Dagbon culture, there are some things that we accept, and there are some things that no matter how the situation, we don't accept it. No. Especially when things is getting to a point where you know that this thing that is coming is so bad. We don't accept those kind of things here. And one thing that we do here is that we have a lot of respect for strangers, visitors. We have a lot of respect for visitors. And to those who has ever lived here, to those who has ever visited here, to those who has ever, live here as Ghanaians and listening to me right now, if any one of them can come out with the experience that they have here with regards to the hospitality of the Dagombes, how we receive visitors and how we take care of them and so on, that would be good. Because there are some things, when I'm saying it, I don't want everything to come out of my mouth. I want to be saying some things whereby some people will be there to, to share their experience about what I'm saying. I don't just say it because I'm showing the good name of Dagbon or the Dagbamba. But experience is the best teacher. There are some people who has experienced it. One thing about the African teaching is that the African teaching also teaches us about self-sufficiency. That is self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency in such a way that when you are growing up, the first thing your parents will teach you is they will teach you how to farm. They will teach you how to farm. And by teaching you how to farm, do you know what they do? Whenever your father wakes up in the morning, all of you, all the family will take their breakfast, and then they will take you to farm. When you don't have the energy to use the hoe, to weed or to farm, at least you will go and fetch water for the farmers, for the people who are working to drink. When it's time for lunch, if you cannot do anything, you'll be able to set up fire, and then you roast yam for the workers to eat. When it's time for planting, when you will not be able to do anything as a child, at least you will also be able to plant the seeds. You will also be able to help plant the seeds. So that is where the learning starts and the self-sufficiency starts. Because in the rural areas, a lot of children doesn't go to school. But nowadays it's good because the majority of the children here are going to school now. And one thing about the self-sufficiency that I'm talking about right now is also said that when you are growing up as a child and your parents take you to school, when you come back from school, they will either take you, after they send you to school, they will also take you to either a carpentry shop, either a welding shop, or either they will take you to a plumber to learn plumbing, or they will take you to a mason to learn, how to build, or they will take you to a tiler to learn how to, lay tiles, or they will take you to an aluminium fabrication shop to learn how to make aluminium doors, aluminium windows, and everything that consists of aluminium works. That is, those people who are working on using aluminium frames and glasses to fabricate some things. There are so many jobs here that children learn at teenage age. So many jobs, uncountable jobs. Blacksmith jobs is included. So whenever you come back from school, after you eat your lunch, you rest for maybe like 15, 20 minutes, and then you dress up again and go to work. You just dress up again and then go to work. And when you go to work, you come back home at 6 p.m. or sometimes 7 p.m. So within the next 2 to 3 years, down to 4 years, you'll still be going to school, but you'll be closer to graduating from the work that you're learning. So before you complete your school, you already be a master at the job that they took you to learn. You understand? And that is where self-sufficiency starts again. So at some point, when the education that you're going through, that is the school, is not able to help you, the work that you learn, you'll be able to use that to build up your future. You'll be able to have your own workshop. You'll be able to make your own money. You'll be able to feed your family. You'll be able to take care of the community. You'll be able to take care of the family. You'll be able to, help humanity with the resources that comes out from your work. You understand? And then you also be able to pass on that knowledge. You'll be able to pass on that knowledge to others. You understand? Me, for instance, the number of children that I taught how to weld are so many children. I taught a lot of children, including my own friends. I have my own friends that I taught how to weld. John Aaron, you said greetings from Israel. Greetings from Tamale, my brother John Aaron. Nana Okomfo Akosua. Nana Okomfo Akosua. You said greetings from Atlanta, Georgia. How are you? I'm doing good, and I'm sending my greetings to you from Tamale. So yeah, Juma to say, Nadia Nekoso. I'm speaking Ashanti to Nana Okomfo. And Sharon Shakes said, Wagwan Prince Ayoku. And you said, on my way. You said, yeah, on my way in. Greetings. Sharon Shakes said, smash the like button on my way in. Sharon Shakes, everything Irie. Everything, is cool and crisp. Everything is cool and crisp, and everything Irie. We run things don't run we. Okay. Almata Harrison, greetings to you. Mosi Davis, greetings to you. So, self-sufficiency is very important in life, and it's one of the African teachings that I'm talking about tonight. You see, there's one thing that is bothering we Africans and the black race in general now. And you see, at the end of this COVID, I'm just hoping that a lot of people will take that as a lesson. But I'm also praying that it will not affect us so much, or it will not affect our families in the diaspora and in the countries that is very high. I pray that it will not affect you so much. But I'm just hoping and praying that at the end of this COVID, a lot of people will learn lessons from it. Sometimes we are blacks. No, we are blacks, but sometimes we don't live as, the typical black way of living. As a matter of fact, we are blacks, but we don't live as a typical black way of living. Look, a black man or a black woman has some kind of pride in them. We blacks have some kind of pride. We don't always want to be working for people for money. every typical black man who is real and want to stand for, the black race, and wants to defend his or herself, never want to go and work for somebody for money. But sometimes it is the situations and the circumstances that is bringing all these kind of problems in our lives that prevents us from having living self-sufficient life. The reason why I'm saying this is because you see, Africa, the African continent is different. But you see, in Europe, in Asia, in Canada, in Australia, in America, and in these European countries, there's a lot of differences between we Africans on the continent and our families in those areas. The reason is that here in Africa, you can just use some small money to build up yourself. You can use some small money. When I say small money, you can just use like let me say some 10 kilos of seeds to produce food that can feed you for a year. You see the difference, because the land is there. The land is there. You can use that to farm. You can take care of the farm. When you harvest the crops, even when you don't have money, you have something that you can eat from that particular time till the next year. That is self-sufficiency. This is African teaching. Even let me say for instance, even my backyard here, when it's time for farming, there's a lot of people that farms there. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4 people that farms there just at my backyard. And you know what? They farm rice. Sorry, they farm yam. They farm maize. They farm some kind of tuber crops that we call frigma. That frigma, I've ever shown it in one of my videos. The frigma, they plant it on a mound. They make a mound, like a yam mound, and plant it. But when it germinates, it climbs. They will put on some long stick, and it climbs the stick, and then the frigma will come out from the roots of the stem to the plant. So that particular root crop is tuber crop is the only tuber crop that we have here that climbs and make the tuber plant on the from the branches to the stem of the plant. And they also plant sweet potato. So just imagine, they plant corn, they plant yam, they plant frigma, they plant pepper, they plant cassava, they plant guinea corn, they plant millet, and then what again do they plant? They plant okra. Some people say okra, we call it okra. So just look, just some small piece of land, they plant up to 8 different plants on this particular land, and it will all grow very well. It will all grow very well and nicely. So from the last harvest season, from last year farming season, they would eat the food. So just imagine 4 people. All these 4 people are landlords. We call them, in English here, we call them landlords. They are the leaders of their family. They are, they are the husbands to their wives. So they have, each one of them has over 3 children. Some of them has 4, 5, 6 children. So just imagine 4 people having families and farming here that can feed them and their families for about a year or a year. That is self-sufficiency. And quite apart from farming there, they also have different farms from different villages. So at the end of the season, they would have plants, they will have food that they will eat, they will have leftover that they will sell for money, that can, help them financially. And then here, we also have some people who are into livestock farming, just like me. You know what I'm doing. I'm a livestock farmer. I've been in livestock farming for 12 years now. You understand? Each and every year, I have money that I make from that farm for the past 12 years. I've never missed having animals every year. And I'm even planning to make it to a very, big scale livestock farming, whereby people from our neighboring countries in Africa can come to my farm and buy any kind of number of animals that they want. This is the African teaching. Self-sufficiency is very important in our lives as Africans. Self-sufficiency is very important in our lives as Africans. Look, me for instance, if I am going to the US, if I have the intentions, I do have the intentions of going to the US, but I'm going to the US on one reason. One reason. I'm going to the US on one particular reason. I have my wife in the US, my legally married wife. When I say legally married wife, I'm talking about, I have one of my queen there. I have my queen in the US. So when I'm going to the US, I'm going there because of her and her family. That is my families. Because when the Gumba man get married to a woman, the family to the woman automatically becomes his family. You understand? And I'm also having a lot of friends from that same community that my wife lives. So when I'm going there based on that reason. Else, there is never a day that I'll just sit and say, I want to go to US to hustle. No. The kind of person that I am, I thank God and I'm okay with it. So there's no need for me to just get up here and then say I'm going to a different country to go and hustle. You understand? Africa has the opportunities here. The opportunities is in Africa. The biggest opportunities that can make a person self-sufficient in life is in Africa. We have the land that we can use to farm. Agriculture is one of the most important things in life that can build up a person, that can build up the community, that can build up Africa. Agriculture is one of the biggest sector, that can develop Africa and the black man. But then we don't focus so much on agriculture. What I'm telling you is a very typical African teaching. It's very typical African teaching that I'm sharing with you tonight. We don't focus so much on agriculture, especially we the youth of nowadays. We don't focus so much on agriculture. All what we focus is just education. People are sitting idly, holding university degrees, holding certificates that they got from universities. What do they do with it? What do they do with it? When you are hungry, can you tear some part of the certificate and eat? When someone is holding, um, when someone is having a certificate from university or a degree from university and is unemployed, when the person is hungry, please, I'm asking you, family, when someone is having a university degree in any kind of, you know, uh, the so-called, you know, subjects like either any degree in science or mathematics or English or anything, when the person is hungry, you know, when the person is having all these degrees without having any work, I'm asking you, when the person is hungry, can he tear some part of the certificate and eat? No, no, you can't. You can't do that. But now let's come to this part again. When some, you see, it's very sad. It's very sad that we as Africans, we are seeing the way forward and we don't follow it. We are seeing the right path, but we're still trying to, you know, follow the shortcut. Even when you are following the right path, that is longer for you to travel, or that will take you a long way to go. It's better than taking the shortcuts. There's no shortcut in life. There's never anything that is called shortcut in life. That is what makes people to fail in life sometimes. You see, we have technical universities in Africa. We have mining universities in Africa. And in Europe and in the whole world, in America, in Europe, in Asia, in the Caribbean, like in all parts of the world, we have technical universities. But now, let's come to Africa and look at our technical universities. Even the lecturers who are teaching these students, how many of them has ever manufactured a bicycle? I'm not gonna talk about anything big. You are invited. I'm drinking some fancy kinky. You see how Ghana is good. This is a fancy meal. That is what they call fancy kinky, and some call it fancy dokono. So this particular drink that I'm having right now, if I want, I can just blend it. This one is blended one. I can blend it, either drink it raw without sugar, because I don't like sugar so much. So I can drink it by blending it, or I can eat it with tomato sauce, like tomato, onion, and some pepper with some small fish, and I'll be okay. See what I'm talking about? This is not from anywhere, it's just from here. It's fancy. It's a typical fancy dish, meal, or let me say typical fancy food. But the Gombes are doing it here. You see how we adopt each other's cultures here in Ghana. So now let's get back to business. In all these universities that we have in Africa, all the universities in the 54 countries of Africa, all the universities that we have, that is technical universities, we have lecturers there who are teaching these university students. They are teaching them about engineering. They are teaching them either automobile engineering or electrical engineering or any kind of engineering. Now I'm going to put this question out there to the whole lecturers in Africa to tell me, Have we ever seen any lecturer in one of these technical universities that has ever manufactured a bicycle? Did we ever see that? Lisa Finger, how are you doing? Is this the Lisa Finger I know? Is this the Lisa Finger I met about 3 years ago? Is this Lisa Finger that I met here in Tamale? But I believe it's that Lisa Finger. Lisa Finger, it's been a while. How is the family doing? Joyce Bevins, you said I'm happy for you and your USA wife, and that you're visiting. We welcome your arrival, Prince. Sure, sure. We'll time we'll meet. Lisa Finger can confess to what I'm saying about our hospitality, because Lisa Finger has ever met me in person. Lisa Finger, thank you so much for coming on to this channel. Thank you so much, Lisa Finger, and I'm hoping to meet you again in the near future in Tamale, or when I touch down the US, when I come over there. I'm coming there. I'm coming. So these are the families that I'm talking about. Lisa Finger is one of them. Sincerely Laha, welcome on board. How are you doing? How is our families at your side doing? You said you are coming to the US. Yeah, definitely. I'm coming over there. I have my wife and our family there, so surely with time I'll come. I can't tell when, but only time will tell. You understand? So let's get back to what Mr. Finger said. Yes, I loved my visit to Ghana. The prince was very gracious and welcoming. We were treated like family. It was wonderful. Mr. Finger, that's how we are here. Mames Benis, how are you doing? You said good evening, Prince Ayoko. Good evening to you, Mames Benis. Greetings to you. How are you doing? How is our families at your side doing? I guess everybody is fine at your side. So let's get back to who we are as Africans. That is the African teachings. So you see, we Africans at home and our brothers and sisters in the diaspora are struggling because the solution is just in our front, and we are looking for the solution from afar. It's just like when you hit something in your pocket, and then you all of a sudden you forget and you are searching for it all over your room while the thing is in your pocket. That is our problem. You see, we are having all these educational systems in our communities, in our countries, and wherever we live. All what we are focused on is learning something that is here. Something that is in the book. You see, we are learning from something that is in this particular thing called book. And we don't practice what we are learning from the book. We don't practice it very well. All what we're doing is that we are just chewing what is in the book into our heads. We are just chewing it into our heads, putting it into our brain without practicing it physically. So that is why sometimes I see a teacher That is, I see a primary one teacher, sorry, I see a primary teacher, a nursery teacher, a junior high school teacher, and a senior high school teacher, as well as a teacher training college lecturer, to be much important than any other teacher in the world with regards to education. Because look, as primary teacher or nursery teacher, at least if he's not able to teach you anything, he'll be able to teach you how to read and write. That is very beneficial. As a junior high school teacher, he can continue to help you level up your your way of speaking and your way of writing. That is very beneficial. As a senior high school teacher, he can also still help you, to polish up your English and how to write up your everything that involves your speaking and writing. With the teacher training college teacher, at least he can also teach you, for you to learn something from him and pass it to others. That is another important thing. But with these universities that we're talking about, when they teach students politics, when they graduate as politicians, then it becomes a different story. It becomes a different story. When they teach people in these technical universities, when they graduate and they get their certificates, then they'll become a sitting home. When they teach them engineering, even when they are driving their own car and the car had a little problem, they cannot work on it. They have to go and call a mechanic to come and work on it, whilst they're having all this knowledge in their head. Just imagine. Just imagine. In the typical African tradition, let's come back to community. Right now, as I'm talking to you, when I hear a shout outside from a different house, I'll leave this live right now and then run to the house to see what is happening and support. This is about community. Here, we don't live as individuals. We don't live any kind of lifestyle that we call off-grid. We don't live that life here. Never. We don't do that. Here, we are living a life whereby we support each other. We are living a life here whereby we stand for each other. And we are also living a life whereby when something is good, we will always appreciate it. When something is bad, we will not accept it. You see how we live here. So our life is very simple and very understandable. But one thing about some people here is that when they meet visitors, especially visitors who are coming to learn the tradition, they don't tell them 100% true about the tradition because of this selfishness and selfish gains that I'm talking about. They always want to do something that makes the visitor happy, but they don't share the reality about the culture with the person. They misinform them, they lie to them just because they want to have what they want. And at the end of it, the person who has come to learn, because the person is not being taught well, the person will also pass that false information to others, thereby doing what? Tarnishing the image of this tradition and culture of Dagbon and other Ghanaian communities or other Ghanaian cultures. This is what is happening in our societies every day. Mama S. Bini said the answer seems to be in your own backyard. I don't understand what you mean. Like, the answer seems to be in my own backyard. Hassan Ninja said, Prince, I want to talk to you in. You want to talk to me in what? Please, Hassan Ninja. You said, I want to talk to you in. Please, Hassan Ninja. I don't know how or where you want to talk to me. So, can you make your point clear? Just make your point clear, please, Hassan Ninja. Roast. Sharon Sheikh said roast yam, plantain corn, roast yam, plantain corn, breadfruit, Jamaican style. Yeah, thank you for sharing Jamaican, meals or Jamaican dishes with that. Mama S. Bini said, all is well. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm grateful that everything is well. Sylvia really said you are welcome to the US. Thank you so much. And Nana Okonfo Akosua said you are correct. And Mama S. Bini said, if you don't teach your culture and rely on others, like you said, it will have false narrative passed on. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You see, I don't edit videos. I don't edit videos at all. The only thing that I do is when I'm taking my videos and something is blocking me, I'll just pause it. When I'm taking my video and someone just come and block me, I'll pause it. When the person move, then I'll continue it. Or I'll just pause it and tell the person to please shift a little bit for me to take my video. Else, I don't edit my videos. I don't edit my videos at all. So, you see, as a matter of fact, I don't call myself a YouTuber. I'm not calling myself a YouTuber because I'm using that platform to share with you what some of you has been denied for a long time. You understand? What has been hidden from you for over 400 years. What was stolen from you for over 400 years. What you have been denied for over 400 years. You, our families in the diaspora, in the Caribbean, in Europe, in all over the world, I want you to know that at some point you were here. In the past, your ancestors were here. That is our ancestors. So what you have been denied for so many years, if I have the opportunity to bring your notice, to share with you, for you to see the reality of who you are, for you to see who we are, why can't I do it? Why? Like, I don't have any reason to say I would not share that information. Sharing means caring. Sharing means caring. If you don't care for it, people, you will never even have time to share this kind of information to people. You understand? If a person doesn't care so much about others, the person would not use his money to invest in sharing this kind of things, informations with people to learn. You understand? My channel is quite growing, and I'm gonna make sure that before I leave YouTube, when it's time for me to leave YouTube, at least I will be able to have a bunch of videos that involves a lot of different cultures, a lot of different traditions, and a lot of teachings about the African way of living for all of you to pass it on to the next generations. Help me do that. Help me share this. Let's all teach one another. You understand? If we do this, it will be very good for all of us. That's why I said in one of my comments that my channel is not a playground for children. You understand? My YouTube channel, it's not a playground for children. You understand? And my YouTube channel is not a comedy channel. Please. You understand? I'm very serious and I'm very focused and I'm very, determined in life. Look, if I tell you the number of things that I do daily for myself, for my family, and I still have the time to share these informations with you, you will see me like someone who is not a human. That's how you see me. You wouldn't be able to know where I get this energy from. Serious. You wouldn't be able to know where I get this energy from. But I'm so grateful that I was being raised as a soldier. Like, I was raised just like the way they train military men, from school to work, sometimes from work to farm. Look, when I was learning this welding job, sometimes when I go to my master's place to learn job, that is my master's shop, he can take us to his father's farm, his father's peanut farm. We call it groundnut here. He can take us there to harvest groundnut or sometimes to weed from morning. Usually he was doing it on Saturdays. And sometimes the Sunday that you even take to rest, he will tell you to go to his father's farm to work. It is not child abuse. It is not child labor. It doesn't have anything to do with child punishment. It is uplifting the child, drilling the child to be able to withstand all kind of conditions in the future. Now just look at how young I am. But what I was going through those days. At some point I thought he did not like us. But now if I see him, I bow down and greet him with higher respect and smiles on my face. Yeah, I'm so happy. Sister Doreen Wan Khalid is on board. Sister Doreen Wan Khalid, greetings to you, my sister. How are you doing? How is the families at your side doing? Sister Doreen Wan Khalid, kindly share my PayPal information on the channel. So anyone who wants to support the channel in any way can send their donations via my PayPal. Sorry, just a second. I have a call from someone. Hello? Nah, dim solo no labene, dim solo na na bola. Wole bon. Nka na bola. Okay, sorry, I had a call from one of my sister. So that is how we have to raise our children. We don't have to raise the children in one way. Raising children in one way is very dangerous. And it's very dangerous because when you raise your child in one way, when I say one way, when you take your child to school, only school, later when the child did not make it in the educational sector, then the child has to struggle because the child has to go and find work, or the child has to go and do work that they don't want, just because um, they have no option, just because the parents did not, you know, raise them, said that if they are not able to make it here, then they can be able to check here again and make it. You understand? You see, in every part of the world, there is hand trades. In every part of the world, there is this artisans in every part of the world. Look, there are welders, there are plumbers, there are carpenters, there are masons, there are tilers, there are painters, there are automobile engineers. There is so much people that has this knowledge, that uses it every day to work for themselves. So why can't we just be fast to build up children like this, so that in the future, if they are not able to make it at school, they can be able to make it in the other side, from the hand trade. So please, let's think about this. Let's think about this. Let's think about this. It's very important. It is very, very important. If we are bringing up children, we have to make sure that we are bringing them in the right direction. We have to make sure that we are bringing them up to be, you know, from a very good position in life. You understand? But if we are just giving birth to these children without providing a very better future for them, I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing if we are failing to, find a very better life for these children? If we are failing to do this and just focus on the education, it will be something different in the future. Mama Esbini said, I love hearing the different African language. Thank you for not abandoning yours just to speak English, because some Africans do that. No, for me, when you see me speaking, or when you hear me speaking English, it's just because I want people to understand what I'm saying. Because if I start to speak Dagbanle now, or when I start to speak Hausa now, or when I start to speak Ashanti or Mamprule or Nanumba now, a lot of you will be missing. You will not even know what I'm talking about. But when someone just walk in here, I'm gonna start to speak my language, even when the person look. A lot of people, when they call me, there is a lot of Ghanaians calling me. Usually when they call me and they start to speak English, I'll ask the person, are you not a Ghanaian? When the person said I'm a Ghanaian, are you an Ashanti? When the person said yes, then I will say, okay, let's speak Ashanti. That is the best way. When the person is Hausa, then I'll say, let's speak Hausa. Yeah. Lala Nyele. In Dagbali, we say Lala Nyele. That is how it is. Or that is what it is. Lala Nyele. So, my brothers and sisters, as we still in the African teaching, you see, in the African way of living, in our naming ceremonies, in our weddings, in our funerals, and in our festivals, and all kind of occasions that involves the community, we come out in numbers. And by coming out in numbers, we don't come out in numbers with empty hands. We come out in numbers with donations. So for instance, when my next door neighbor has a new baby born, naturally organic, sister naturally organic, you said, greetings, Ras Prince Ayoko. Blessings, my sister. How are you doing? How is the entire family at your side doing? So, as I'm saying, when my immediate next door neighbor, or when any person from this community has a newly born baby, it takes 7 days for us to do the naming ceremony. So let's say today is Sunday. So when a child is born today from the next house, the thing that I'll do is that I will have to walk in there tomorrow morning and then check on the baby. So right after that, we'll all be going through our daily activities. So Hassan Ninja, as a matter of fact, I would have liked to share my contact information right now, but I don't just always, sorry to say, kind of, you know, like sharing my contacts on the social media like that. But I will see what we can do. I will see what we can do. So can you please send me an email at rasayoko@gmail.com. Ras Ayoko, RAS, Ras, and then you know how the Ayoko is spelled, AYKO, AYOKO, Ras Ayoko at gmail.com. Please, Hassan Ninja, send me an email and I'll share my contact information with you on the email message, please. Okay, kindly do that. When you share when you send me a message there, I will definitely text you my number. rasayoko@gmail.com. RAS Ayoko, AYOKO @gmail.com. rasayoko@gmail.com. Then I will share my contact with you and then we'll talk about whatever you want us to talk about. Thank you, my brother, for your understanding. So you see, right on the 7th day after the child is born, when I'm going to the naming ceremony, I would make sure that even when I don't have anything, I would have something small to donate to the family. And every person in these communities, in this community, would do that. Sharon Sheikh said, we have give account our history, our story, not history, which is manipulated, turned upside down, inside out to suit the colonizer, imperialists trying to make all the glory. Yeah. So at the end of the naming ceremony, at least the help that will come out from the community and the support that will come out from the community, it will be able to help uplift the person. You understand? This is a typical African teaching. Now, I'm going to ask my brothers and sisters in the diaspora and in the Caribbean and any part of the world that blacks live. Do they do this over there? I want to know if that is done. That is being, I mean, if that is being done there. Like when someone has a naming ceremony, then the entire community will just come out on their with their numbers, and then come and support that person financially, and also take their time to spend like at least 2, 3 to 4 hours with with the family to celebrate with them, or to you know uh, help them with the occasion. Is it happening there? Is it happening there? Let's try to come back to our roots, my brothers and sisters. Look, I know wherever you are is different, very different. But at least, even when your next door neighbor has something like that, you can just pass by, send your greetings, and then just donate something small and go to your work or go back to your house. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do this, and let's stay very focused about the informations that we learn on social media. The particular things that we we learn on social media is very important. What we share with you is very important. Whatever that I share, I make sure that what I am sharing will be beneficial to all of us. During one college, my sister said, Prince Ayoko, you are sharing knowledge, but you are not sharing your drink. Okay, everybody is invited. That is fancy kinky. Everybody is invited. It's more like porridge, but sometimes it's very, sweet when you mix it with milk. But I don't take milk. Look, it isn't that I don't take sugar. I take sugar, but sometimes it can take up to 2, 3, 4, 5 months, and I will not take sugar even one day. I like taking things raw even without sugar. And milk, I don't take milk. It can take me up to 3, 4 years, and I'll never take milk. So, Sister Doreen, I've already invited people to join me with this Fanti Kinke before you come on board. So sorry for forgetting to invite you to. Sister Evelyn Goshi, you are invited and you are welcome on board. How are you doing? How is our families at your side doing? That's my Haitian sister. She's Sister Evelyn Goshi is very focused and learning so much. And one thing that I've also learned from her is that their culture in Haiti is much similar to the culture that we have here. You see what it is? We are all one. We are all one. You see, Glow Empress. Hello from Tamale. How are you doing? Yes, Sister Evelyn said, running and busy, all blessed. We are grateful as long as we are in good health and in good shape. The running and the busy is normal, because sometimes, as responsible people, that is what we have to do. Running here and here, working things out, using the energy, and just getting the work done. That is, the typical African way of living, especially an African man. You, we have a lot of responsibilities that we take care of daily. You understand? So when they break, we are so focused in getting so many things done before you know the day ends. So we don't have time for comedies. We are very serious minded and working things very hard. You understand? Austin Morris, blessed love to you. You said, I was saying in America we do have what we call baby showers, where we bring gifts for newborn babies. That is good, and please continue to practice that culture. Please do try to continue that. That is the African way of living. You know, that is why I titled this the African teaching. You know, African teachings. African teachings. It's all about, sharing with you what belongs to all of us, for you to also pass it on to the other generations. There's a lot of teachings that I have to share with you, but um, I'm not gonna take you so long in those conversations, because sometimes the little bit that you share is much more important than using so much time to share. Because later, when someone is going to watch it, they cannot watch all of it. So, with where we have stopped today, or with where I have reached today, I'm going to stop it from here tonight. And then, hopefully, next Sunday, I will be able to come out with a part 2 of it. So, my family, I thank you so much for your time. I thank you so much for your patience. And I thank you so much for coming on board and also sharing with what you know that I don't know. I am so grateful for that. And I pray that everything that I say will be taken into consideration, and you please don't keep it by yourself. Share it. Just share it. That is why I share with you. So you should also share it with others. So when we are sharing it, it's like we are spreading the information, spreading out the information, reaching it, making it reach out to people who are still in the darkness. You understand? So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your patience. I pray that the Almighty God and the ancestors will continue to keep us united, and will continue to, keep us, in good shape, and grant us with good health, and grant us with abundance of knowledge, wisdom, and patience, as I always pray for us all the time. When I pray for us. I pray for me, including all of you, but I pray for us. That is what I make it short. So thank you so much for your time. Till we'll meet again next Sunday for the continuation of this topic. Uh, Please kindly send my love and greetings to the entire families at your side. Till we meet again next week, I say stay blessed and one love. See you. Bye.